Hey, beautiful collective, welcome back, welcome back. As promised, I promised Tucker that I would use the animal oracles today. So, magic works through you. You see the big picture now, collective. You've learned from the past, okay? You've learned. You see things clearly now. You've claimed your independence, and you're trusting in divine detours. Everything happens for a reason. You have learned, okay? And this and that are true. What you were thinking is true. Now is a lucky time. So, someone's learning a lesson, learning from the past. Be loyal to what you love. Like, look, you were loyal. Okay, you were loyal. But somebody is learning you gotta be loyal to those you love. Somebody is learning. They should. This is the woulda, coulda, shoulda. They're learning. Let them learn. They were lucky to have someone loyal like you. They were fortunate to have someone loyal like you. Okay? So, but you are trusting in divine detours. You're like, okay, this must have happened for a reason. I'm accepting whatever is going on. I'm learning. I'm only going to be loyal to those who are loyal to me now. I've taken my independence back. Now, I was loyal, but I see the big picture now. And maybe this person sees the big picture now. They should have been loyal to someone who was loyal to them. So, let's get into it. Now's a lucky time. Seems like to lay a solid foundation. Okay? Oh boy, they didn't know how resilient you are and your worth. Okay? You're celebrating. Oh my God, you was the divine in disguise. You were. They didn't know who they were dealing with. Okay, they didn't know who they was dealing with. This detour was done by source. This was done by the divine. It's like they should have been loyal. They should have been loyal to you. They didn't know they were dealing with the divine in disguise, but you are the divine in disguise. It's like, remember when we was talking about the human test? That's what this is. It's like Spirit disguised you as like a regular human being. They didn't know that they were dealing with someone divine. But it was like a test to their loyalties. Who and what they were going to be loyal to. You as a divine messenger. A real sweetheart. And be someone they should have been proud of. You're a tiger angel. Oh my God. And this sacred fool juggled you. But I think it was a test They were tested. And they're coming out of the dark. And they're realizing that what they've lost. Oh my goodness. Okay. They were tested. They failed the test. You passed. They failed. Everything you said, this and that were true. Everything you told them, this and that were true. You were honest. You were loyal. You were dedicated here. A true sweetheart. But you are the divine in disguise. So it's like this person, you're doing a job for Source. That's what you're doing. You're doing a job, a mission for Source. By being this test, you're coming into people's lives and you're testing their life. Like, you're not doing it deliberately, but their loyalties are being tested. Okay? They should have listened. They should have listened. They should have picked up on this. That's what Source is saying. But you set it free. You set them free. Maybe you set them free so that they could process and absorb something, but like you were wise, maybe they labeled you. And you're seeing the patterns and you're telling your story, but it's their path alone. Like Spirit is saying, like, they were tested and they failed the test. It was a test of their loyalties. It was they didn't know who you were. They did not know you were the divine in disguise. Had they known you were the divine in disguise, they may have chosen a different path. But you were the test, the loyalty test. Okay? You were loyal to those you loved. So it's like you passed, aced your test. You're a tiger angel. You're a warrior. And it's like, that's the cause and effect. Okay? You have the key to wisdom. See, this person should have stood up and fought for you. They should have fought for you, beside you. And now they're coming out of the dark, recognizing this. They should have been loyal to what and whom they loved. They should have fought side by side with you. They should have been loyal to you. That's what the read is saying. Let's go. Collective. Ooh. Instead of using this for destruction, see, you see clearly, and I think they are coming out of the dark, and they are seeing clearly what they destroyed. Maybe they thought you were naive and they took a gamble. Now they're waking up. Before, they wouldn't give. They labeled you as untrustworthy. They labeled you as untrustworthy. Someone labeled you untrustworthy. Or that they couldn't trust you, put their trust in you. But they're the ones that should have been loyal. You were. They should have fought. They should have stood up and fought. Fought for their happiness. Okay? Ten of Pentacles. Fight. Fight. Stand up and fight. Instead, they ghosted you. I don't understand it. What? A true sweetheart. A tiger angel. Hello. They should have stood up and fought. But they were afraid. Overthinking, overanalyzing, listening to other people. It's their path alone. They took a gamble. They took a risk. They judged you. And they labeled you. Listening to other people. And you set them free. You set them free. You took leadership and set them free. This and that are true. Be loyal to what you love. Maybe that's what you told this person. Be loyal, or I'm gonna walk. Be loyal. You were the test. You were the loyalty test, for crying out loud. You were the test. A test of their loyalty. They should have stood and fought for you. They should have fought for you. They should have fought for this connection. But it's their path alone. It's their path alone. And now they regret it. Now they are sitting, crying over spilt milk. This and that were true. They did love me. They were loyal. You're getting vindicated. And maybe you actually told this person, you better appreciate what you have. You better be true. You better be loyal. Or I will walk. I will set you free. And they took a gamble. And they lost. It's it's like you were the divine in disguise. Like, you were the gift. You were the Holy Grail. You were the, and they labeled you as untrustworthy. And, or maybe someone else did. Irregardless, you were the test, the loyalty test. And it was their path alone to choose. And they chose their path, and they lost. Be loyal to what and whom you love. Lesson learned. Out of the darkness, they emerge. Everything you said. Maybe they were in denial. I don't know. Maybe they thought that they could breadcrumb you. Now's the lucky time. It's their path alone. They took a risk. They were talking to someone else, and they took a leap of faith on that someone else. They were only thinking of self. Someone was judging you, and someone was putting labels on you. And that someone else they did this for self-gain. They were judging you and labeling you for their own selfish gain. Okay? And it's like, you were loyal. You were the honest one. You were the sincere one. And it's like you may have told this person, you better be loyal. Be loyal to what you love. And they turned their back on you, and they do in the energy of destruction. Says, see, they didn't know they were dealing with the divine, a tiger angel. You see clearly. They went into the dark. That's what they did. And they betrayed you. But something has come full circle, you see? Something is coming full circle. And now they're seeing that this and that were true. Everything that you said was true. Whoa. You reap what you sow. So they actually didn't know who they betrayed. Like, you were actually like some earth angel that was sent here as a test of their loyalties to who they would be loyal to. Overthinking. Unreal, eh? You are an illuminator. You were truly an empath. So you got a lot of adventures in front of you. See, you're so hopeful. See, you're a clairaudient. You are a moon goddess. You are a warrior, just like I said. Look. So it's like a double-edged sword. It can work like a double-edged sword. It's like you were a test. A test for others. Like Spirit already knows you're loyal. This is interesting to me. It's almost like, okay, people have crossed your paths. People have fallen in love with you, and people have fallen away from you. And it's like, you might be remembering saying this. You might have said this to many people. Be loyal to what you love. But it's their own path to make a choice. It's like they were dealing with a tiger angel. They were dealing with the divine in disguise. You were the disguise. You were the divine. The divine was channeling through you. Oh my word. You're creeping me out. I'm getting goosebumps. Literally. The words of advice that you gave this person are ringing true in their minds. They're like, oh my God, the collective was right. Oh my God, the collective was right. Whoa. Look. And now that dark energy, they are not going to give this masculine up. Man. They really don't even care if this person is like half dead. They will not release this person. It's like they're in a war between good and evil. They're in a battle, a spiritual battle and an actual battle. All they had to do is stand up and fight. That's something, eh? See, it wouldn't have done any good if you were to chase after them and fight for them. It wouldn't have done any good. Because you were already loyal. What they needed to recognize is that it was them who needed to fight for their own sanity, their own life. They were in a spiritual battle. They were in a spiritual battle, and you were like a heaven-sent angel that came to rescue them. And they turned their back on the very gift that God sent them. It's a spiritual battle. Man. God sent them a tiger angel to fight and battle for them. But they would not stand and fight. They turned their back. Oh my word. The very person that was sent to bail them out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's all they had to do is stand up and fight. Fight for what they loved. Fight for... Oh my good God. The writing's on the wall. Take care.